Okay, Rabbi, so let's carry on with the Sikkim of today's share by carrying.
Just to review what we learned today, Bez Hashem, we saw first of all we have to learn halacha, and you have to be careful with halacha. Be careful with the Heilige Shabbos, as we saw. Haitzah is not just carrying, which we could realize we're doing. It's really the accurate definition of Haitzah is transferring from Rishus to Rishus. Every deraisa includes an akira, picking it up from one Rishus, havora, transferring it to another Rishus. Hanacha means putting it down, either putting it down or hanachas gufay. Stopping is also a form of hanacha. Carrying Dalet Amos and Shesarabim is a form of Haitzah, Rishus to Rishus, because a person's station then is his Rishus HaYachid, and he goes out of his Dalet Amos, so then he's transferring Rishus HaYachid to Rishus HaRabim. In Rishus HaRabim, it's only Asa Dalet Amos. Going from Rishus HaRabim to Yachid or vice versa is even less than Dalet Amos. The Issa is the transfer, and Dalet Amos are not necessary. There's no Chatzi Shir in Rishus HaRabim because it's a Chatzi Malacha or the Torah was Materit. But more than Dalet Amos is automatically a Malacha of Haitzah, Rishus to Rishus, even in Rishus HaRabim. If it's not a Rishus HaRabim Deraisa, it's minimally a Darbanan of a Carmelis. So even if it's not a place that's frequented by many people, it's still at least an Issa Derabanan. A item fell out of the area, flew out of the area, whatever it is, bringing it back, even less than Dalet Amos is Asa, because that's a Haitzah, Rishus to Rishus, although it's only a Carmelis Derabanan. If a hat flew off, you could pick it up and put it back on your head, even while you're walking, unless you have to make sure that you're not walking more than Dalet Amos as you're carrying it. B'makom tzarech Shabbos, makom tzarech mitzvah, you're allowed to have a guy go Rishus HaYachid to Rishus HaYachid, derech Rishus HaRabim be'emtza, if it's possible to go without stopping. If it's possible to go without stopping and he decides to stop, that's a daita de nafshe, and that is of no concern to us. A guy is holding an item and he says, you take it out of my, in Rishus HaRabim, he tells you, take it out of my hand and bring it into your house. The Yid is doing a full malacha deraisa of Haitzah Rishus to Rishus. If the guy comes into your house and stops, he made the full hanacha in your house, taking it out of his hands only an asa als minig. If a Yid is asked to pick up a ball in his Rishus and the guy takes it out of the Yid's hand, that is a different sugya of nira kamoylach b'shvila, but that would not be a kira mitzad the Yid. A private mailbox is a malkam patur. If you're carrying something, you're allowed to put it onto a private mailbox as opposed to a city mailbox, which is big enough to be a Rishus HaYachid. A child that won't walk and there's no guy available, so you line up a few people and hand from person to person should carry less than Dalet Amos, hand to the next person and continue going like that. If there's no many people, then two people could alternate, and even one person b'shas hatchak. A person is holding a seif from Shesarabim, he just ended up carrying it. The only eights would be either to make it a few people carrying pachas, and you have to get an eitzah how to get it into the Rishus HaYachid. Better would be if you put down an item, a jacket, let's say, and then put the sefer on top of that, then at least the sefer is left in a place that is not a bezoyan mamish. A situation where a child on a ledge of Rishus HaYachid and you carry him off, even though you're not carrying him, you're transferring him Rishus to Rishus, that's taka malacha deraisa. Chatzah to chatzah, backyard to backyard, without an erev chatzeres is mutter to carry items that were in that backyard before Shabbos. That Chazal did not asa. Porch to porch is generally like room to room, which is a problem unless one is certain that his porch is like a chatzah outdoors, and then you're allowed to carry him porch to porch without an erev chatzeres. It's always advisable to make an erev chatzeres. This way you're allowed to carry even things that were not in the yard before Shabbos. To carry from a yard to yard, even with an erev chatzeres, if there's no connection, if there's no access, that would be us. You have to get a type of a ladder that's really like steps, go up and go down, and that connects the two. An item put an item in the airspace of Rishus HaRabim, if it falls down and it will break, you're allowed to. If it falls down and it will not break, your chayish will come to retrieve it, and that should not be done. If you put it over an airspace of a Carmelis, you could be mekel, because even if it falls down, in the worst scenario, it's an Issa D'Rabbanan. Holding an item over Rishus HaRabim should not be done for many reasons, as we said, but one of them is definitely a Shabbos issue. And basically, a person realizes he's carrying, he should not stop. If he didn't stop, he should continue going. and find the Makom Patur within Dalet Amis, or either drop the item within as he's going, or bring it straight to Rosh Hashanah. And of course, I should have mentioned, Lav Dafka, where you came from Rosh Hashanah, any Rosh Hashanah would mitigate the Issa, but not remove it entirely. A person is carrying a glove, don't put it on, drop it, and then pick it up. Once a person stopped, and then that's the Hanocha, none of these eights really apply, and we're left with 3 shaylas where a person is moving something, but it's really attached on the top, pushing a swing more than Dalet Amis, and we said a person who has a flyer in his gate and he moves it, but the flyer is attached to the gate, and the third child is sticking a key into a keyhole and opening the door. 3 cases where you have a movement, but there's no full movement because it's attached at the base. Very good. That has to be because it's attached. Yeah, I should have meant.